going on, fellas? Gonna dive into this whole Ja Morant Instagram video with him, you know, showing a gun off, and just everything around Ja Morant for the past couple of days and weeks, and everything leading up to the multiple game suspension from the Memphis Grizzlies, which I'm sure it was handed down by the league. So if you're unaware of the situation, Ja Morant has been suspended for a couple of games by the Memphis Grizzlies for basically showing off a gun on his Instagram live. Prior to that, there's reports that he got into it with a 17-year-old at a gym, and there was somewhat of a back and forth, possible punches thrown. Now there's an ongoing investigation into Ja Morant by the police department. So I see zero need for Ja Morant to be doing the things that he's doing. Anyone that comes from any kind of struggle doesn't look to go back to the struggle. Just want to point that out for a second. And I know Ja Morant put out a statement, but I'm going to go ahead and say, whether it's you're dealing with stress or you're depressed, or you got some things going on in your life, there's more mature ways to deal with that. There's more mature ways to cope with anything you got going on. I just don't see how showing off a gun on your Instagram live is the solution for any problem you have going on. Furthermore, if this is your definition of fun, I don't understand that either. How is that fun? Now, I get it, man. He's a really young player in the league, but he's not just any regular player. If you take a look at Ja Morant and his situation, he is, you know, the franchise player for the Memphis Grizzlies. In my opinion, a superstar. He just got a brand new Nike deal, his official first shoe. He's got to deal with Powerade and endless opportunities that might be presented to him in the future. He's making crazy bank off of his contract with the Memphis Grizzlies. And I don't understand why you would want to jeopardize any of this by damaging your public image. It makes no sense to me. It's concerning because the first thing that comes to mind is, who is in his inner circle? Where's his dad in all of this? And I get it. He makes decisions for his own. Nobody put the gun in his hand. Nobody told him to go live. You know, he might just be having fun with his boys. But at this point, you got to start questioning, like, who are your friends? Is this, you know, the right group of people for you to be around? If it's dudes you came up with and they're still hanging with you and they're not looking at it like, yo, what are you doing? That's a problem. Somebody got to check you. Sometimes in life, we are our worst enemies. Actually, that might be the case for a lot of the times. And we need someone there to support us and guide us and make suggestions on what not to do. The company you keep cannot be understated when we're talking about this whole Ja Morant situation. I feel like if he has the right group of people, a good group of friends, this is not happening. If Ja Morant was my friend and I'm in a club or wherever it took place and I see Ja Morant go live and he's got a gun in his hand and he's just waving it, the first thing I'm doing is running up to him. It's like, yo, cut it. There is way too much at stake to be doing these childish things. That's what this was. This is childish behavior. I'm sorry. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to accomplish by showing off a gun on your Instagram? What's the purpose? What about that is fun? So maybe there isn't a deeper meaning and we're just being foolish and just being childish. That's still not okay. It's still not acceptable. And I'm going to tell you why. Whether Ja Morant likes it or not, knows it or not, he is a role model. He never asked for it. Cool, it don't matter. You're still a role model for so many kids that look up to you and want to follow in your footsteps of making it to the league. You inspire them, man. You inspire people that view you. You are a role model and you get no say in this. Even if you publicly came out and said, I never chose to be a role model. I never said I was a role model. I don't want to be a role model. That is out of your hands. You don't get to make those decisions. The moment you got a $200 million contract, signed on to Nike, got a Powerade contract, you became a role model, you became a spokesperson, you became someone that a lot of people are depending on, counting on. And let's just go back to family. Like, your family is counting on you. The people around you, your close friends, they're counting on you. You are now the breadwinner. You are now the dude that brings home the bacon. That's just what it is. Why would you jeopardize that by being foolish? In the middle of this whole rant, let me give a quick shout out to Jalen Rose. If you haven't seen his segment, the piece that he did on ESPN, where he draws comparisons between his personal life and Ja Morant's situation, go and give that a look. Jalen Rose is probably the best person I've seen speak on this subject because he actually lived somewhat what Ja Morant is going through, and he had his own missteps in the league. So just want to say, if you haven't seen the Jalen Rose segment, go check it out. But back to the basics. Let's just say the fame and the traveling and the rigorous NBA season, whatever it may be that's taking a toll on Ja Morant, I don't know how waving a gun is a coping mechanism. That's why I didn't really appreciate, the post or him trying to get out in front of it. I appreciate him making a statement, but not necessarily saying that is a coping mechanism. I just think it comes back to immaturity. I think it comes back to being foolish, childish. No matter what anyone tries to sell you, this is what I'm gonna say. Ja Morant does not have the right team around him. He does not have the right people around him. It's been way too many incidents, too many missteps. In my opinion, I think Ja Morant needs to cut off a couple of people from his inner circle, because, I mean, this is not it. Now, here's the bright side, fellas. He hasn't killed anyone. He didn't shoot anyone. He didn't stab anyone. No one's died. You can still change from this. He's a very young player. You can start making the right decisions, not making these mistakes. These could just be mistakes you made in your early NBA career, and continue to have a great career and go on to do great things for your brand, off the court, and just your life in general. Look, man, I just want to say, I'm a Ja Morant fan. I am. I really like how he plays the game. It's as simple as that. I don't need to give you any further details. I think the guy is an all-out superstar, and he is going to continue to have a great NBA career. I just don't want to see him throw it away by making stupid off-the-court decisions. It's just dumb. I don't know how accurate this is, so do not take it as a report, but I'm just seeing things that there's a possibility he had a gun with him on the plane, possibly into the arena. If this is really the case, you're looking at a possible suspension for the rest of the season. He was just literally at the All-Star game, man. This is people's dreams. He is slowly checking off all the accolades on his career to-do list, and I don't want to see the off-the-court antics be what brings him down. Honestly, do you think the Grizzlies front office doesn't want Ja Morant to be at the games? You think they want him suspended? Of course not. They're forcing his hand. Ja Morant is literally forcing their hand. They need to do something based on what's going on. Otherwise, they're going to be held accountable. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad and so unneeded. That's the main thing. That's really what's bothering me. It is uncalled for. You're not even about that life. Like, why would you want to pretend to be something you're not? It makes no sense. Again, people that do come from that lifestyle do everything to try to get away from it. That's the whole point. Literally, the point of life is to better yourself. So if you already bettered yourself by being in the league, making all this money, getting these amazing brand deals, why would you try and throw it all away? If you ever come so close to your dream or to an opportunity, don't throw it away. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to capitalize and take advantage of that situation, take advantage of that moment. Not throw it away by being stupid and doing childish things because you want to put on a fake show. I really thought I was going to have more to say on this topic, but the more I'm making the video, the more of a rant is becoming. So I'm going to cut it off because I'm actually getting annoyed at someone throwing away, everything that they've earned. Not even given. He's earned. You're throwing away what you've earned, what you've worked so hard for. Couldn't be me. Let me know your thoughts and comments on this. I'm not going to continue this video. It's already not what I wanted it to be, but it's just raw, my thoughts on this, and I think Ja Morant needs a better team around him, a better system, better people. Bring him in and have that talk. It's like, man, look, we're counting on you, what's going on. And I'm sure he's fully aware, but one thing is being aware and one thing is actually doing the right thing and not being stupid. Catch you guys on the next video. Let's go.